What's up, guys? We're going to do another live for December. Your boy still can't exercise on Sundays. Didn't want to burn another Sunday playing video games, so here we go. So every time I do these lives, this camera setup looks weirder and weirder. Something ain't right. Let's see. Let's get the drink set up. You know what I'm saying? You guys already know. Best drink. Waterloo strawberry. Let me get this chat set up, see if anyone's in here yet. Make sure the computer's muted. Oh, Ace of Spades, what's good? I see you. Let me get this chat popped out, guys, so I could handle these questions. I always forget how to get this chat popped out. Here we go, pop chat. This chat likes to crash too. I don't know if you guys have been watching other people's stream. It's pretty common for the chat to crash. I don't know why. It happened to me a couple of times. All right, let me get this other screen set up. Almost in business, guys. We are almost in business. Serge says, oh, snap, no hat. You're acting different out here lately, my man. Yeah, bro, you know, it gets hot sometimes. And like, I just like, sometimes, you know, when you wear a hat too often, bro, you get like addicted to the hat and you become too self-conscious if you wear the hat nonstop. And then you take the hat off and you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't look right. And so I try to mix it up. I'll never film a video without a hat because what happens, like this is like a 2-3 day fresh shave. I shave my head about every 5 days or so. And a lot of times when I'm filming, I've just shaved my head the day before. So it's like super bare, right? You can't even see the fuzz. And what happens is if I sweat a little bit, it starts to get shiny. And it's not going to look good on camera because when I film, sometimes I'll be filming for like 2 hours. I'll crank out 2-3 videos in a row. And you guys don't know this, but it gets hot when I'm filming these reviews. We got all these lights in the room. It's a small room. I have a fan on, but I can't have it on too loud or you'll hear it. So I'm sweating underneath that hat oftentimes. And that hat is there to protect the head from shining and glistening too much. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Larry? Larry says, you are sounding and looking good. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kristen Ray, good to see you, Nemo. What's up, Kristen? Your name's Green. Why is your name Green in the chat? That's a trip. What's this? Are you a member? Maybe you're a channel member. That's got to be what it is. I'm not too hip to that YouTube functionality. JR left a thumbs up on the sound. Thank you, JR. I appreciate that. Always good to know the sound is coming through good. Oh, Kristen said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kristen, I got to ask because my YouTube analytics say I only have 2.5 female subscribers. Are you actually a female or is this another case, which is very common, of the husband using his wife's YouTube account? Very common for some reason. I don't know why. It seems like a lot of the about 90% of the female subscribers that I've seen is always a guy using his wife's account, and he'll eventually let me know. I mean, not that I treat anyone differently either way. I'm here to chat with everybody, but I'm always just curious. Stefan Olson, integrated amp or separate streamer and power amp, any pros and cons? I mean, yeah, bro, like, of course there's pros and cons, you know what I mean? With the integrated amp, I'm guessing when you say integrated amp, you're referring to a all-in-one solution that has streaming capability, maybe something like a Hagel H190 that you can AirPlay directly to, or something like that Outlaw RR2160 that has a built-in streamer, or some of the NAD stuff that has built-in streamers, you know. Look, the obvious benefit of a one-box solution is to eliminate clutter. You eliminate any obsession that may come with having multiple boxes. When you have multiple boxes, you might start tinkering with cables and stuff like that. You got multiple boxes. You got to have a nice rack and things like that. So there's like the, I guess, interior design aspect of it, but I don't think that's what you're asking. I think you're just asking about sound quality. I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's going to all come down to what your budget is and what you're buying. A really high quality all in one solution may outperform inexpensive separates, right? Really nice separates may outperform an inexpensive all in one solution. So it depends, bro. I don't think there's an iron rule that separates always sound better or all in ones always sound better. You get me? Yeah, see, Ace of Spades says his wife will use his YouTube account all the time. Yeah, super common, super common. Christian Ray says, haha, I'm a male. Yeah, I figured. All good, all good. Yeah, this hobby, very few female subscribers. I'm sorry, females in this hobby. I know I have two genuine female subscribers. We got Joan Frederick and Irene Sorios. I remember them by name because that's how few there are. And, it's cool to see it though. I've shared the story a few times, but one of the coolest hi-fi experiences I ever had was I had my Dynaudio Special 40s. When I reviewed those, I had bought them because I didn't have a relationship with Dynaudio yet, right? So I was going to sell them when I was done with them because I bought them just to review them. And I was going back and forth with this gentleman on Facebook Messenger. His name was in Korean, and it was kind of clear he was using Google Translate. And he was like real soft spoken, and I was like, no, whatever, you know what I mean? I was real polite with him and such. And I said, hey, well, why don't you come and listen to the speakers first, this and that, and you decide. I don't want to be pushy with you, and it's a beautiful speaker, but you got to like how it sounds. And after like about a month of this guy messaging me back and forth, being really coy and soft spoken and such, he's like, hey, I'd like to come and buy the speakers. I said, sure, no problem. He pulls up in a Honda CRV, and a Korean woman gets out, about maybe 45 years old or so. Beautiful woman, and there's no one else in the car. And I asked her, I said, excuse me, miss, just curious, are you the person I've been messaging? And she's like, yeah. And she said, not for husband, for me. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. Have you been an audiophile for a long time? And she looked at me and said, no. Only in the last 2 years did I discover this hobby. And I thought that was so cool. Not even the fact that she was a woman, just that, at 40 plus years old, we're still discovering new passions and things we love in life. And it was just super cool. It was super cool, man. JR says, have you heard what Emotiva has coming down the pipe for a new subwoofer? Too bad their RS line got discontinued. Yeah, that RS line got killed by the, unknown virus of unspecified origins is my guess. I remember chatting to them about the RS line. I know the RS11 was originally $1,200 or $1,300 depending on the finish. And they told me that sub was originally slated to be like a $999 product. And they were pretty upset that, they specified origins, did unknown things in the world that, caused prices to go up on stuff. That was a great sub. It really was. JR, have they dropped any hints that they have a new subwoofer coming out? Or are you just asking me? Because I know nothing, but if they've dropped any hints, I'd like to know about it. Sorry, guys, you're going to hear me sniffling and such. I'm not sick necessarily anymore, but man, the congestion is alive and well. I'm generally having to go to the bathroom and blow my nose like every hour or so. So I'll do my best to hold it together in the stream. Kristen Ray says, I'm really loving my T9X. Yeah, man, the Rel T9X is a great sub, I've interacted with very few people that didn't like their Rel T9X, and the few people that didn't like their Rel T9X were people that were a little bit newer to the hobby and didn't really understand that a 10-inch subwoofer has its limits. They had these bigger rooms. They were expecting this 10-inch subwoofer to do dedicated LFE duty at reference theater output, and 10s just generally are not going to do reference theater. That doesn't matter whether JL Audio makes it or any other brand. A 10-inch is going to be considered real small for dedicated LFE. That's not to say it can't do it at reasonable volumes. It certainly can, but not at theater, level volumes. There's just no way. But yeah, I love their LT9X. Fantastic. I love the whole TX range, honestly. Great subwoofers. What's up, Ham? Ham says, greetings, homie. Hopefully you're healthy and happy. Clear nose would be nice. Oh, dude, yeah. Anytime I've got congestion, I just like pray, and I'm just like, man, I took for granted being able to breathe out of both nostrils for so long. And I just want to be able to breathe out of both nostrils. Ace of Spades says, I've got a smaller room with a 2-channel setup and a single sub rhythmic FV12. What is it? No, that's not a rhythmic subwoofer. You're mixing up the brands. You either have a FVX 12 or LV12M. You're saying you have a FV12M. Tell me which one you have, bro. Your question is, would there be any benefit in moving to a dual sub setup? The single is plenty bass, SPL, and extension for the room. Give me your room dimensions, Ace, including height, and do it in imperial, please, no metric. And tell me which sub you have, FVX12 or LV12M, and I'll answer the question. You guys want to talk about, I got comments jumping in. I was going to jump to a topic. No one was asking anything. JR says, referencing back to Emotiva and subwoofers, I heard they're working on a new subline, but nothing is ready yet. I wonder if it's taking longer because it will have an app, just a guess. Who knows? I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I haven't talked to Emotiva in a long time. I love Emotiva. I really do. But the only product they have that I really want to review is their new, I think, XB1 speaker and or their XB2. But every time I want to reach out to them, I check the website and the darn thing's sold out. So, if the speaker I want to review is always sold out, what that tells me is they don't need a review. They don't need additional, coverage of that product. It's selling like hotcakes already, and I'm super happy to see that, But I do want to review an Emotiva product. Their stuff's always great. Where'd I leave off? Ham says, health is the crown. Only the sick can see, LOL. My guy, can you pair a Supermon Mini with a Rel Classic 9899? Would that pairing result in a warmer sound? Yeah, that pairing would result in a warmer sound. You certainly could do it. But, the Supermon Mini is not a warm speaker. If you want a warmer sound, you shouldn't buy it. Honestly, I'm personally not a fan of buying something only to totally go in a different direction. Now, if you already own it, that's another story. So if you already own it, brother, and excuse me, yeah, I'm gonna burp sometimes because we're drinking sparkling water. Waterloo strawberry, best ever. If you're joining us late, not late, but before the intro. So the Supermon Mini, let's assume you already have it. It's a little too analytical for you, perhaps, right? I'd sooner pair it with like a really warm and lush amplifier than, well, I guess I'd probably add a Classic 98 too. Both would do a lot to shift it to being a more richer presentation if that's what you're trying to go for. Yeah, I'd do that. I think a Classic 98 would be plenty for that. Now, do keep in mind, a small speaker with a thin mid-range, which is, what the Supermon Mini is. I mean, it's so small, we can't expect it to have a thick mid-range, right? That's not possible. That mid-range is never going to get thicker just because you add a subwoofer. It doesn't work that way. A subwoofer may help give some illusion of that. It's really going to help fill out the, up to about 100 hertz, kind of no matter where you have your crossover set up, because it's going to reinforce the speaker quite well, but it never thickens up the mid-range. That's a big misconception a lot of people have. They think, I'll just buy little tiny speakers, I'll add a sub, and it'll be just like having a big set of speakers. Not exactly. And that's one of the reasons I like the Bucard S400 so much, is I like that thick mid-range. It obviously doesn't have the resolution that the Supermon Mini has, or the vocal clarity or air and space, nowhere close, but it has that thick mid-range, and that's a sound I tend to like, but I like both sounds. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Health is the crown only the sick can see. Very true. So Ace is saying it's a LV12M single sub. Room size is 12 by 11, 8 foot high. I mean, yeah, you can definitely benefit from a second one if you're just looking for for me to like co-sign some FOMO on dual subs. I'll do it. Yeah, man, get dual subs. You know what I mean? Why not? If you had a sealed sub, I'd probably say stick to the one because it's hard to get dual sealed subs to work in a room that size for a music only system without like Dirac or something like that. But vented subs seem to not care so much if the room's on the smaller side. So yeah, if you've got another $700 burning a hole in your pocket, dual subs are great. It's going to balance out that sound stage really nicely, and in some cases help make the overall sense of scale seem much larger and more effortless. Siphonic says, "Love the haircut. Thank you, thank you. This is the haircut I've always got. I just never show it off, or at least not in videos. I explained earlier." Oh man, Svalbard, that was a great comment. He says you should partner with Emotiva to come up with a custom product called Nemotiva. That is fantastic wordplay. That is peak humor. Peak humor. Good job, brother. Good job, man. Oh man. Ted K. So, welcome to the stream, my man. Carl Sittler, are reviewer views dropping off, or is it just me? I don't know who. Are you referring to anyone in particular? My views are doing just fine. I'm a smaller content creator though, so I kind of expect my work to be fairly consistent. I don't keep tabs on other reviewers, Carl. I don't like count other people's money or success or play the FOMO game or do the comparisons. I believe a life of comparison is a miserable one, so I don't compare myself to other people. I don't look at my views and see, oh, how does that compare to like Andrew Robinson who has like 300,000 subscribers? That would be silly. I don't do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Where'd I leave off? Also, Carl, why are you yelling at me with the caps lock, bro? What's up with the caps lock? Ted K says, howdy, brother. What's up, Ted? Scott says, hi, Nemo. What is your opinion on Rogue Audio? Please share. Why don't they like to send reviews? Why don't they like to send review samples? I don't know. I don't know anything about Rogue Audio. All I know is from the people that have owned it, they say it's built well, it's good stuff. And that's all I know about them in terms of why they may not like to send review samples. Maybe they're a smaller boutique company that has enough sales and doesn't need any more press. Maybe they're a little old fashioned and are happy advertising in the traditional publications or working with the few people they already work with for marketing. Or maybe they just don't believe in marketing. Who knows? Because a review is marketing at the end of the day, isn't it? Let's be honest about that. Whether biased or unbiased doesn't matter. It's marketing, you know. Bodie McBoatface. What system am I seeing behind you? Behind me? Oh, so over here is the Hagel H190 Supermon mini speakers. And then that's an LG C1 OLED. And behind the couch is a KEF KC62, and that's the TV rig. There's also a gaming PC right there, i7 10700K 3060 Ti. Nothing crazy. I'm playing like old niche JRPG games. Like right now I'm playing Ys Origins, and I'm able to get just about everything running at like 1440, 120, no problem. I don't really play modern games. Radkong says, greetings, 10 p.m. in Norway now. What's up, man? Radkong, tell us. I know you said, okay, so it's 10 p.m. in Norway. Is the sun shining still? Is the sun shining? I believe the sun may still be shining depending on the time of year. I'd love to know. That's a fun fact for some of you guys may not know this, but in some Scandinavian countries, the sun shines almost year round at 2 o'clock in the morning. The sun's only about half set and it's quite beautiful. Ham says, thank you, brother. All the best. Thank you, Ham. Likewise, my man. Kristen Ray says, I was going to go with 2 subs, but I'm glad I didn't because that one T9X overloads my room. I have to turn it down. Yeah, that's the interesting thing, right? You get a lot of people that think they need a ton of output, and some people do. Some people do need a ton of output depending on the room, their needs, their listening habits, what their goals are. And for some people, a 10-inch is all or even more than they will ever need, right? Even an 8-inch in some cases. In some cases, an 8-inch sub is more than that room will ever need based on the person's listening habits. Absolutely. Siphonics says, yes, Nemo Tiva, got to do it. No, that would be just, there'd be so much red tape tied up with that. You know what I mean? Because to do a hybrid product like that where we're combining the names, that'd be like a copyright nightmare. Like who would own the rights to that name? It'd be like 50-50. We'd have to like set up probably like a new LLC where we're like partners in it. That would be such a nightmare unless I just let them use my likeness for free. But I mean, their name's way bigger than mine. That'd be unfair to them. Siphonic says, hey, I just shaved my head down today also. Hats off to you. Good wordplay, good wordplay. Shoplin, what's up, bro? He says, what's up? Nice cut, homie. Thank you, bro. Thank you. This is the cut I always have. You guys just don't see because I always wear the hat. I paused because I was thinking if I need to raise up my chair or not. It's so uncomfortable sitting on a goddamn bar. Oh, I shouldn't say on a damn bar stool. Shouldn't use the Lord's name in vain. Rakong says, we are rocking the same hair and beard style, by the way. Rock it. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, man. The shaved head, beard, that's the look. I went to the dentist the other day and she's like, why do you have a beard? Why do you have a beard? And I was just like, because I want, because I can. Like it, you know what it felt like? It felt like beard envy because my dentist is a woman and she obviously can't grow a beard. And I think she had beard envy. That's what I think. Sammy Debs, what's up, Sammy? Always good to see you. He says, hey, Nemo, I purchased the Blue Sound Node for my second system with the 5V 25 watt LPS. It surprised me how good it sounds. Yeah, guys, listen, if you haven't seen my product of the year video where I shout out that LHY power supply upgrade for the Blue Sound Node, I'm not messing with you guys. It's kind of, I know it sounds like snake oil. I understand that it sounds ridiculous. How would a power supply make you have better holographics? Or like how will $290 upgrade sound so good? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know. It's not my job to explain the hows because frankly, I don't understand the hows. All I can tell you is for $290, this is one of the best upgrades I've ever done. I still cannot believe how good it is, how well worth it this was. And I bought it over a year ago. It had been sitting in the closet unused for the better part of a year, you know, because I didn't care. I didn't think it would be that big of an upgrade. Svalbard says, here's a question. Are there any pre-owned audio websites you recommend, trust, or not, including eBay? So I bought stuff off eBay. I bought my Focal Canta number ones on eBay. They were like $4,200 at the time. I'm very comfortable taking risks personally. US Audio Mart for US customers is considered fairly trustworthy, but I'll meet someone like in a back alley off of Facebook Marketplace. I'm very comfortable with risk. I grew up very broke or low income. So, you know, up until I was about 25, if I wanted something that was expensive, 9 times out of 10, I was going to the used market. And the best deals are in the bad neighborhoods, boys. It's the truth. The best deals are in the bad neighborhoods. So, or not necessarily a bad neighborhood, but you know, the ghettos, the low income areas. So your level of risk may not be as high as my level of risk. I wouldn't buy a designer item off of eBay. That's fairly commonly known. Those are fake, but personally, I wouldn't buy designer anything anyway. I just don't believe in that. And there's other ones too, like AudioGone is well known to be, a fairly good website, and I'm sure there's others. It's just at this point in the hobby for me, I have so many connections with so many manufacturers. It's unlikely that I need to buy something from the used market these days. So my knowledge may be behind. There may be some sites I just don't know about. Sorry, guys. Like I said, still dealing with some congestion. You're going to hear a few more of those through the stream. Let's see what's next. Carl says, all caps mean I love you, bro. Glad you are maintaining a steady audience. Thank you. I appreciate it. A says, any new music that you or the chat has discovered recently? I'm off to work until New Year, so looking for new music to discover any genre. Ace, so I would encourage everyone, if you have new music recommendations for Ace, don't post them here, right? In my free Discord, we have a section for music where the whole point of it is like you found some music that really gets you going, it fills your soul, or you may think this track is great for testing imaging or bass or to show off Aaron's space or vocals. You can mention it in that section, and that section has 4 subsections for different genres. So Ace, if you're not in the free Discord, hop in there. The link is in the description of all my newer videos for the past year or two. And the music recommendation section is all the way at the bottom. And it's got a few years worth of content in there you can sift through. Radkong says it's winter now, so it's dark almost all day. In the summertime, it's bright all day. More extreme in northern Norway, though. Okay, I got you. Serge says, I have a stereo pair of SB4000s matched to a Rebel F22B. 24 by 18 room. I just can't get the bass how I like. Setting to 0 from time to time, and it's not as loud as you'd think. Solutions. Uno momento, por favor. That's one moment, sir. For my non-Spanish speakers. I don't speak Spanish, but I know that one. Serge, is this a theater? Dual SB4000s should get pretty loud. That's a good size room. Have you run a sweep with REW to see if you have any phase issues? Have you also tried disconnecting one sub and just getting one dialed in? Sometimes with dual subs, we can have a situation where one sub is canceling out the other at certain frequencies, and the second sub is actually taking from the experience. So anytime someone with multiple subs is having an issue, I always suggest to disconnect one of your subs and just get that one dialed in. And if you could get the one to sound better than the pair, you've got some cancellation happening you need to figure out. Usually a phase issue of some kind. Don't assume just because you have dual subs on the main wall that they should both have the same phase setting, believe it or not. Sometimes even though the sub is just a few feet to the left of the other one, it may need slightly different phase and frequency settings and crossover settings. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. In my room, for example, a subwoofer on the left side sees a slight boost around 60 hertz. A subwoofer on the right side sees a slight boost around 40 hertz. And it's important for me to know that when I set up dual subs, right? So when I set up dual subs, my left sub crossover knob is turned down just a little bit more than the right sub. But yeah, try to see if you can get one dialed in better. Carl says the sun is definitely down there. Short days in winter in northern hemisphere and long days in the summer. Yeah, there's another person I follow. I think she's in Norway. Her name's Isha Gaming. She's a girl that has like a video game channel. Pretty cool channel. And she talks about that sometimes. Joan, what's up? She says, just joined. Love the hair. A kiss of beauty. Love, love. Thank you, Joan. Thank you. Cyphonics Audio, peace be with you. Happy holidays. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you. You as well, my friend. You as well. Ted K says, lots of interesting stuff going on. SVS re-released the original Ultra Tower and bookshelf. Really? Really? Did they do it at a, like, is it a more affordable option now? I assume they would discontinue the Ultras with the new Ultra Evo line now taking front and center stage. Bose bought Macintosh, yeah. Gishelli may put out some monoblock amps next month, yeah. RSL will bring back the CG25. Really? I didn't know that. That's cool. I love RSL. Fun fact about RSL, guys. Every RSL product I've ever reviewed, every single one has always gone on to become a product of the year. Every single one. They cannot miss. They make only good stuff. Everything they make is product of the year worthy. And look, I'll admit, part of that has to do because of the price point. Man, the price point is so attractive. Everything they sell, they could add $100 to, and it would still be like a fair product. There's stuff, just the value is undeniable. NA says, would that Blue Sound Node power supply help if using a separate DAC instead of internal? Yeah, I use a separate DAC. I haven't used the internal DAC of my Node in, I don't know, over 3 years. Yeah, that's the crazy part. That's why I'm saying it almost, like when you talk about it, it sounds like snake oil. It sounds like bullshit. You know, I'm not even using the internal DAC of the Node. I'm just using it as a streamer. Bits are bits, right? It's just streaming. It shouldn't make a difference. It makes a difference. I don't know how, man. I don't know how. Feliciano, I feel like I need to shut up about it already, but I'm stoked for my recent order of the LV12M. I have the same feeling like when I purchased JLW6 for car audio, LOL. Nah, bro, I mean, hey, if you're happy about it, I'm happy for you. The LV12M is a great sub. I'm happy you were able to get it while it was still in stock. Y'all know Rhythmic subs, they sell out quick. They sell out often, you know. That's more of a boutique company, right? You can't expect them to have stock year round. It's a boutique company. Their stuff's fairly popular these days, and it will sell out quick. My buddy just got a pair of FV18s, and he's been eyeballing them for a little while. And they were sold out for, I want to say, about 60 days. They just became back in stock. Let's play a game. Let's check to see if they're still in stock, because my buddy just bought his FV18 pairs 2 weeks ago, and they had stock, and they had just received like a new shipment of inventory. So I'd be surprised to see. Wow, sold out again. See? Sold out again. The FV18 is now sold out in both finishes until late January. Let's check the LV12M. LV12M still has inventory. FVX12 is sold out until January. Let's look at E15 HP2. That's a popular one. Holy crap. E15, standard E15 sold out. Sorry, E15 SE, the gloss, is sold out until April of 2025. Black, oak, or matte will be back in stock in January. Wow. Wow. HP2 is in stock in gloss. HP2 is in stock in matte. Oak is back ordered until January. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Good for them. They make great subs. All right, where did I leave off? Suwat, what's up, man? Happy Sunday, Nemo. Thank you, Suwat. I appreciate you. Serge says it's 2-channel. Yes, Serge, that pair of SB4000s should bang. If you were a theater customer, I'd be like, hey, some of you theater guys are crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe you're trying to get something crazier, but a pair of SB4000s Should have no problem in that room in a music-only system. It should get plenty loud, bro. It should get plenty loud. Definitely try just getting one dialed in and see if you have a phase issue. I'm going to drop down the camera a little bit. I think it's a little bit too high. Guys, I'm not even going to lie. I might have to pause the stream to go blow my nose. We're getting plugged up. Still dealing with the repercussions of that sickness. Tyrell says, thanks for putting me on rhythmic subs. Love my F18. Yeah, bro, I'm happy you love it, bro. Guys, Tyrell is crazy. He ordered an SB17 and an F18. Two of the Big Daddy 125-pound subwoofers, and he AB'd them for himself and, decided on the F18. I'm happy you were able to find one you like. I'm sure they're both fantastic, So Ted K says OG Ultras are temporary. Okay, so maybe they did like a small re-up on them. That's cool. Rad Kong says, nice. I've been following her for almost 9 to 11. Holy crap. So you follow Isha Gaming also. Founded her by searching for Nintendo Magazine long ago, if I remember correctly. Damn. Small world, huh? Small world. I found Isha Gaming when, you probably remember this. She did a collab with Eric Landon, who's another JRPG reviewer. And he did a community post shout out for her channel and a collab video. And she did the same for him. And that's how I found Isha Gaming maybe 3 years ago. And I love her personality, man. She's like so candid, so unfiltered. She's more unfiltered than any hi-fi reviewer for sure. But that's one of the benefits of these video game reviewers. If they piss off a publisher and don't get review codes anymore, who cares? A video game is $50, $60. They can afford to buy the game themselves to review it. They don't have to worry about maintaining any relationship, Like there's this other reviewer, Hitman89. Also, Eric Landon does this too. Man, they shit on Ubisoft all the time. They shit on Ubisoft. They make fun of Ubisoft so much. For like the bad facial animations. It's hilarious. And they don't care because, okay, if Ubisoft cuts them off, they'll just wait for a Steam sale and buy the game for $40. It doesn't matter. They could still make their video. Ted K says, yeah, I'm considering the rhythmic sub also, thanks. Yeah, bro, I mean, don't consider, just click add to cart while they're still in stock. I don't know anyone that bought a rhythmic sub and was like, oh, I don't like it. I've not run into that. NX says, I just got an L12 for desktop 2.1. Thanks again for the review. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a great sub. Marcus says, will you be reviewing any of the Kabas speakers? If so, which ones? I have the two cheaper ones in for review and the Abyss amplifier. I've been sick, and when you're sick, you're deaf. You can't really hear right. I've been traveling for work. I've been recovering from the surgery, and the holidays are coming up. I got family functions, Friendsgivings, and, Secret Santas and, white elephants to attend and all that stuff. So it's kind of on the back burner. I did listen to a couple of them just quickly. But what I think I'm going to do, bro, is I think I'm just going to do one video where I cover the two more inexpensive speakers and the Abyss amp all at the same time. I don't think I want to make a separate video for all of them. It's going to make people think I'm out here trying to, push Kabas or I'm, sponsored by them or some bullshit like that. There's always a hater. And plus the stuff is being discontinued by Upscale Audio. I don't think it needs 3 separate reviews plus the Murano. That's 4 videos because of a sale. That would just be excessive. So I think I'm going to knock out the remaining 3 Kabas products in a single video. Ratkong, here comes a fun fact. I was living in the same city as her 10 minutes away in 2015. Never talked to her though. That's funny. That's funny. I know you might know this, but Tiny Hats, her friend that she had the podcast with, Tiny Hats met this guy on the chat of like some video game she was playing. I can't remember what it was, and they were just talking. They were just doing like a boss raid, and they found out they live on the same street. They were like 4 houses apart, and they both walked outside and was like, "Oh shit, hi," and that was hilarious. So you never know, man. You never know. Ted K says, you see those new BO Lab 90 speakers Andrew Robinson has? Interesting but pricey. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he posted a nice picture on his Instagram, and I think they were the thumbnail for his recent live stream. Those look substantial. I don't know what they cost. Let's look it up. I don't know if those are a review sample or if they're his, but I know he did mention something like he's been working on making this happen for a long time. Is it 90? Let's see, BO Lab 90 price. Let's see if it's on Bang & Olufsen's website. Oh, okay. I was thinking like $40,000, $50,000. These are $150,000 for the pair. My goodness. Wow, that is absolutely substantial. Crafted to meet the needs of even the most discerning of listeners, BO Lab 90 brings a truly powerful sound into a home entertainment setup with no less than 8,200 watts per speaker, 18 drivers, 14 channels of ice power 300 watt amplifiers, and 4 channels of 1,000 watt Class D Heliox amplifiers. These amplifiers ensure music and soundtracks can be enjoyed to their fullest. Wow. That is really something. I mean, it's at that point, I mean, it's like you're paying for the art of it also, right? That's super cool. I didn't know those were that expensive. My goodness. Suffice it to say, Nemo Propaganda will not be reviewing that. No, sir. No, sir. Feliciano says, I thought I remembered the LV12M being $699 4 days ago. Now it's $776. It was $699 last time I checked. Let's check. LV12M. Yeah, it went up. Yeah. What's the meme? The price changed. Yesterday's price is not today's price. The price changed. Yeah, looks like the price went up. It was $699. Today it's $769. Yeah, get used to it, guys. Prices of stuff's going to keep going up. That's the world we live in. That's always how it goes. It's been happening more frequently and in shorter intervals than ever before. But yeah, the price has changed. It's $776 now. Is it still worth it at $776? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's worth every penny. Oh, wow. A 10-minute walk. Yeah, that is close, Radcong. Holy shit. You guys are in the same neighborhood, basically. Tyrell says that Rhythmic recently increased prices. Yeah, let's look at their other stuff while we're here. If anything stands out as not worth it, I'll tell you guys. So L12 is $659. I think it used to be $629. Totally still worth it. FVX12 is $1099. It's been $1099 for a long time, so that hasn't changed. F12 is now $1199. I think it was $1189 before, so only $10. Not a big deal. G22, I can't remember. Let's look at the F18. I just reviewed that. $1849. That hasn't changed. So not too much stuff has changed, it looks like. And it looks like the changes have been very reasonable. Marcus M., you sold out the Muranos. You might as well be paid a paid sponsor, LOL. Yeah, I mean, I didn't start this channel for like sponsorships and shit like that, you know, like, yeah, my video sold them out. I'm just happy people ended up with a speaker they can enjoy at a hell of a good price. You know, that was an absolute bargain. That was the best deal of 2024. I didn't make a penny off it. I didn't even get a set for myself. I think that blew up way more than anyone ever expected it to. Myself and the upscale staff included, we were all very surprised when I went in to pick up like another review sample, they were just like, dude. And I was like, what? And they were like, we're sold out. I was like, what? Like that's never happened. I've like reviewed so many products. That's never happened. I think that was a perfect storm. And I'm happy for the end users. So many people have reported back to me. They've been so happy with the Muranos, and almost none of them are on the used market. It seems like almost everyone decided to keep them. Everyone loves them. I did see one pair pop up on Upscale Audio, but that's to be expected. Some people are just going to buy them just to like try them because they're so inexpensive comparatively. You know, Brian says, hi, everybody. What's up, Brian? Brian also says, hey, Nemo, my son and I chatted with you at Expona. That was cool. Thanks for sparing a few minutes. Yeah, of course, Brian. Guys, if you go to Expona and you see me walking around, stop me. Holler at me. I don't go to Expona to make those room tour videos. I just make those room tour videos while I'm there. I go to Expona to interact with you guys straight up. Stopping and chatting with people between rooms, that's what I'm there for. Hanging out with people afterwards, going to dinners with people that I've never met before. I go for the human interaction. Do not feel like you are getting in my way by stopping me. Now, there might be some rare situation where I'm on a mission to meet someone in particular. But outside of that, guys, 95% of the reason I fly out, it's not to see the manufacturers, it's to see you guys. So by all means, no need to thank me for sparing any time, and please feel free to stop me if you see me. NX says, I heard rhythmic prices are going up across the board in January. Maybe, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people think tariffs are coming and they're just preemptively raising the prices. Maybe tariffs are coming, maybe they're not. I don't know. Ted K says CSS has a new limited waveguide tweeter for the 1TDX. What? Let's take a look. See if it's on their website. I don't see anything yet. Let's go to the shop. Still don't see anything. Let's check kits. Crichton line. Still don't see anything. Let's check X series maybe. Maybe it's not on their website. Maybe you saw it on their socials. Oh, I see it. Oh man, I see it. Okay. That is anytime we have this look where the waveguide and driver size are a similar size, I'm thinking like Bucard S400. I'm thinking Kef R3 Meta. I love that look, that symmetry. That looks cool. That looks really cool. Oh, it looks like in the review section of their website, someone's got a picture of a set they finished. Let's see if I can get this to load. Oh my God, that's beautiful. This guy put a nice wood veneer on it. That looks beautiful. That looks so good. Some of these DIY guys are so good. They are so good with the way they finish stuff, man. Wow. Love that. Yeah, maybe I will check it out. I've been meaning to check out their towers, but with the surgery, towers are just a no-go, man. It's a no-go. Ragkong says, name's Ragnar, by the way. Nice. That is a good, strong name. I like that. I like that a lot. NX says the FVX12 was $1049 a few months ago. Was it? I could have sworn it was $1099. Either way, reasonable change. Ted K says, did the Choco Ime get some updates recently? Yes, there's a new 2024 version that has increased the size of the capacitor bank, and that is available as an upgrade to existing owners for the previous version. Yeah, I have the new version, and I'll be reviewing it at some point. Brian agrees. He's saying, yeah, the people made it so much fun. The gear was secondary. Yeah, I 100% agree, man. And let's be honest, man, half of those rooms don't sound all that great. And that's not to say the gear is the problem or the brand. It's a hotel room. These are compromised spaces, man. You know, I'm just going to these shows for fun. Jose Rivera says he built a pair of 1TDXs. Amazing. Yeah, man, the CSS speakers, man, I love them. I love the sound. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Chris 200 says, Nemo P, which part of a stereo system do you think people should spend the most money on in a 2-channel system? Compromising either composing either way, a CD player or a streamer, amp, and speakers. I'm gonna answer this question, and then I might have to pause the stream for a second. How many people are in here? Let me see. Does it tell me? 40 people in here. That's good. That's good. So I'm of the belief that amplification is the most important thing. Having nice, high quality amplification will make even inexpensive speakers sing and sound like they're double or triple the price. Truly. And that's why oftentimes you'll get reviewers reviewing something like a $300 ELAC and they'll be blown away by it. You know, yeah, dude, we're using, you know, amplifiers that are $5,000 to $10,000, even more sometimes. And inexpensive ELAC speakers, for example, respond really well to that. They do. I got to give them that. So in some ways, those inexpensive ELACs certainly are performers with a high performance ceiling. However, they are harder to drive. You put them on an inexpensive amp and they start to sound still good, just a little bit more their price, right? So I'm a big fan of going all in on nice, high quality amplification. The cheapest amp I can think of that I would put in that category where it's high end enough that it's gonna like make your stuff sound like it costs more is gonna be something like the Choco Ime. Middle Earth says, you live in the IE, I believe. Do you have people recognizing you around the IE? So I'll say this, let's not get into necessarily where I live, but I mean, your question, like, do people recognize me? No, not really, bro. I got 30,000 subscribers. It's not that many. It's not that many, really. I think for people to start recognizing you, you need to have like 70K plus subscribers. Sometimes when I meet up with someone on like Facebook Marketplace, to like buy speakers, like in the past, when I've done that, 1 or 2 times someone has recognized me, or the room, you know, if I sell a speaker and it's in my room and you could obviously tell what room it's in, but it's very rare. One time I was in Vegas with a bunch of friends actually, and the waiter was like, dude, I know you. I freaking know you. And he wouldn't let it go. He was asking me where I went to high school and like all kinds of stuff. And this was like a nice, you know, Vegas dinner. I was with like 30 of my friends. And I was like, fuck, man, like maybe it's from YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, let's see, you know, that's probably what it is. Cause we went through everything and I'm like, I don't know. And he wouldn't let it go. He kept bringing it up. And I'm like, well, I do have a YouTube channel. Like, are you into hi-fi at all? He looks me square in the eye and says, no, I don't watch YouTube and I'm not into hi-fi. And I'm like, all right, bro, I don't know what to tell you. And I look like an idiot in front of all my friends. You know what I mean? And I wasn't even trying to be that guy, but the dude just kept pressing me. But no, people never recognize me. Only at Expono, of course. But that's like, I'm at the place, you know? C Brown 67. Hey Nemo, I'm debating between the Fritz Carbon 7 and the ATC SCM11. Any thoughts? Thanks. Yeah, I got thoughts. Yeah, like both of those a lot. Those are really different speakers. So let's talk about the differences and maybe that'll help. The ATC SCM11 needs power, straight up. I love that speaker. I bought it after the review, but it needs wattage and a good amount. It needs current. It's only about 84 dB sensitive. It's not going to have a lot of bass either. It's a sealed speaker. But it is a very good speaker, but it is a tough load for amplifiers. So if your amplification is lacking or you were hoping to have a speaker you could use with some boutique low wattage amps, the ATC SCM11 is not that speaker. It's a speaker that you put beefy amplification behind, and it's going to reward you. The Fritz Carbon, on the other hand, has that flexibility. It's a very easy load on an amplifier. That means it's going to be more of a low volume champion. That means you can use more boutique low wattage amplifiers if you wish to do that, and it can play loud as well. Both speakers can play loud and will reward you the more you increase the volume. The Fritz has a wider sweet spot, being a just more efficient design. It's going to reward you more at lower volumes. It's tough to say if one is particularly better than the other. I like both quite a bit. If you're hoping to have something that can do well around, say, 65 to 70 dB, it's not the SCM11. No matter how much I love it, it's never going to be an 84 dB sensitive speaker. It's going to be the Fritz Carbon. But if you're cranking your tunes on the louder side, 75 dB and up, they're both great. I will say the Fritz Carbon takes the edge just a little bit in terms of overall separation between all the sounds. They're both great. I love both. The Fritz is less amplifier sensitive. It's an easier load, whether it be the impedance graph or the sensitivity. And you need both to know if a speaker's an easy load or not. Time for our not sponsored beverage. Waterloo, strawberry. I got a backup too. I got a backup next to me of an alternate flavor. So refreshing. So refreshing. Waterloo, sponsor me. I'll take sponsorship money from Waterloo all day long, guys. They don't sponsor me, but if they did, I will sip this as many times as they want me to sip it. I will have a whole stack of cans in the background if that's what they want. Brian says he lives 30 minutes from CSS. One day soon, I'll scrape together $300 and pick up a pair of the Tories. Keep out of trouble for a while this winter. Yeah, do it, bro. Do it. Ted says, I know this is bad timing to ask about the Iota VX PA40, the amp not integrated you reviewed some time ago, but do you remember if it had an auto on, auto off? I didn't review the power amp, bro. I had the power amp. I didn't use it. When Iota VX was sending me that, I told them I don't review power amps. And they're like, Thomas and Stereo has the integrated amp and the power amp. That's how we sent it to him. You're getting his review sample. It's shipping from him, you know? So you're going to get both. I said, you could send me both. I'm only going to review the integrated. I don't review power amps. So that power amp stayed in the box. I didn't even take it out of the box. I just stored it for them while I had the components in for review. I reviewed the integrated, sent it on its way, along with its power amp to the next reviewer. I know nothing about the PA40. Heath Henry says, hope you're recovering well, brother. Current setup includes LS50 originals and two T5Is, 60 watt amp. Do you think stepping up to R3 metas would be a decent upgrade? Room size is 200 square feet. Tell me the room dimensions, please, and I will give you my opinion. Let's check and see if I can mute this. Guys, I'm going to try to mute the mic. Tell me if this works. Oh, you know, I think there's a mute button on this. Yeah. All right, I hit the mute button. Can you hear me? Let me know. I'm curious. All right, I just hit the mute button again and unmuted it. Someone holler. NX says yes. Yes, it worked, and you can hear me now. Can still hear you. Were you able to hear me when I hit the mute though? I can hear you. So the mute didn't work. It did not mute. Okay, let me try a different way. Okay, I just hit mute again, but I did it on the receiver this time. And I just unmuted it. I was never muted. Fuck. Maybe I need to hold it. How about now? You can still hear me? No mute? Oh man, I guess it doesn't work. That's what you get with Rode wireless products. Man, come on, Rode. How do you mute? Because I want to go blow my nose. I'm like so stuffed up. I don't want you guys to hear it. Oh, well, you might just hear it. Oh, well. All right, let's get back to these questions. Mute didn't work. What a bummer. What if I had to like go to the bathroom and drop a gangster or something? You know what I mean? And I just wanted to pause the stream. Come on, Rode. That'd be crazy. Imagine just taking a shit live stream. Room is 14 by 12 by 8. Cheers. Yeah, so Heath, what amp do you have, Heath? Sorry. Let's answer that too. Sorry, bro. James is saying just step away. Yeah, I know. That's probably what I'll have to do. I can just mute my audio. It's not working. Yeah. Gangster. Cambridge CXA 61. So the Cambridge CXA 61 is a good amp. But I believe that's like a $500-ish amp. In my experience, I haven't experienced that one in particular, but amps around, say, under $1,000 or less, don't put the biggest magnifying glass on the difference in speakers, nor will they like push a speaker to its absolute limit. They can sound fine. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I think you'll get an upgrade going to the R3 Meta using that amp. I think it'll still sound fantastic. You're going to gain a ton of bass. You're going to get taller imaging. You're going to get deeper imaging, wider imaging, more separation, a better mid-range, a little bit more tonal richness, a little bit more naturalness. It will absolutely be an upgrade. And you'll have a higher performance ceiling, meaning in the future, should you wish to upgrade to a more expensive amplifier, the R3 Meta will be able to stay with you and hang with you for quite a while. You know, you can go up to like a $5,000-$6,000 amplifier with the R3 Meta, and it'll keep rewarding you up until about there. So yeah, I'd say if money's tight, keep what you got. But if you've been itching to upgrade and you've got $2,200, I mean, yeah, the R3 Meta it's a great speaker, you know. All right, guys, I'm gonna go clear out the sinuses. Give me a second. BRB. I'll probably lose some of you, but I'm only gonna be gone for about a minute. So let's see how many people we actually lose. There's 49 people in the stream. I'm going to be back in like a minute or less. BRB. I could breathe out of both nostrils again. Amazing. All right, let's see. We didn't lose anyone. It went up. We had 49 people. It went up to 51. You guys are patient. Man. Oh, man. All right. Where did I leave off? Now might be the time to buy anything in stock if it's something that might be hit with the extra tariff next year. Yeah, Just Browsing is definitely right about that. I do think we're going to see some price hikes, you know. I feel like, am I just sitting lower? Maybe I need to raise my chair. Hold up. Man, fuck this bar stool. It's fine usually, but like when I'm like sitting in it for a while, let's be honest, bar stools weren't designed for like live streaming, right? It's not the bar stool's fault, it's mine. All right, where did I leave off? Brian says, no gangsters in the bathroom break allowed, man. After your review on the RSL Speedwoofer 10, it was on the top of my list, but then I won an SVS PB1000 Pro on their happy hour show. Whoa, that's yeah. I mean, a free PB1000 Pro is definitely a great reason not to buy another subwoofer. Congratulations, that's awesome. That is so cool. Chris 200 says, Ethan Winter says that a $25 or so DAC can sound transparent. Is it worth upgrading more on DACs in your opinion? Who the fuck is Ethan Weiner or Winter? Who the fuck is that? Look, can it, if you're just asking me, bro, if a cheap DAC can sound good, like, yeah, bro. I mean, like a shit Modi, those are like $129. Those are fine. I used the internal DAC on my Node for a while. They can sound fine, right? $100 speakers can sound good. $100 amps like the RSL IA 255.1 can sound good. Cheap stuff can sound good. Let's not play the game of saying there's no need to spend more though. That the more expensive stuff isn't better. You know, let's not do reverse elitism. That's a big problem I see in the hobby. You know, it's funny. The rich guys, they never shit on the guys that have inexpensive systems. I've never seen that. I've never seen a guy with a $500,000 sound system tell a guy with a $30,000 or $5,000 sound system or $1,200 sound system he needs to step up. I've never seen that. But I've seen a lot of the opposite, where these guys with like $100 amps are like, oh, only stupid people will waste $2,000 on an amp. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, who are you, bro? Like, let people enjoy things how they want to enjoy them, you know? So, yeah, bro, I don't know who Ethan Winter is, but yeah, I'm sure there's some $25 DAC that can sound all right and give you some detail. Is it going to give you as much detail as like, say like a $700 or $800 SMSL DAC that's like chip based and known to be like more analytical? Probably not. Is it going to give you more detail than like another analytical DAC, like say something by Chord that's, you know, $2,000 plus dollars? Probably no. You know, is it going to be good enough? Only you can decide, right? Everyone's got their budget they're working with. No hate either way. I just don't like it when, you know, there are some people that would have you believe that, and I call this validation content. Some people make validation content where like they're almost trying to sell you on this idea that only stupid people spend more, that it's wasteful to spend more. Now, it certainly can be wasteful to spend more, but this whole hobby is wasteful. Let's be honest. Your TV's got speakers. You don't need a set of speakers. Hell, your phone's got a speaker in it if you want to, you know, you don't need headphones even. All of this stuff's a luxury. All of it is. But hi-fi's like cars, you know, more expensive cars. It sounds like a Mercedes S-Class at $130,000 sounds reckless. Then you sit inside the motherfucker and you're like, damn, shit. This thing's worth every penny. You drive it and you're like, oh my goodness. It's worth it. It's totally worth it, you know? Sorry, no, I went on a bit of a rant, but just wanted to get that off my chest. Hey, you guys want a sidebar real quick? I'm going to show you. I bought a new little toy. I'm going to share it with you. It happens to be right here. This is not like an ad or nothing like this. I wish it was so I could get paid, but are you guys into flashlights at all? I just bought this little keychain flashlight. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. So it's a little keychain flashlight, right? Super small. There's no switches on it. This is a USB on the back. That's how you charge it. You just like plug it into like a USB. And look, it just snaps off. And when it snaps off, it's magnetic. It turns on. Super cool. Super cool. I'm going to keep this like behind my rack for when I'm like messing with stuff and I can't see. Super cool. Love this. Made by Olight. It was like $17. Olight Mini 2. Comes in like colors and stuff. I wish I could get paid to like talk about stuff like this. This would be like really fun. Just like review a flashlight. Like, oh yeah, it's a nice cool beam, you know? It's good spread to it, you know? Really, really, really good battery life. I don't even know how I'd review a flashlight, but love this little guy. Just came yesterday. It's my Christmas present to myself. You know, I'm living large. All right, let's get back on topic. Sorry, guys. Taffy, message retracted. Middle Earth, that worked real well-ish. I could only hear 3 nose bursts. Yeah, there was about 3. Yeah, I tried to be quiet. Heath says, sounds good. I might put the cash towards a new amp first. Used Hagel H190 in the UK are about the same price. Well, like $2,200. I don't know if the Hagel H190 would be the best fit for R3 Meta, honestly, bro. I love the H190, don't get me wrong, and I love the R3 Meta. But tonally, they're both a little similar. They're both a little similar. A little smooth in the treble region, a little warm in the mid-range. Both have good bass. Neither one pushes in one particular direction of tonality or another too much. They're very safe tuning, but very enjoyable tuning. They're real similar. You're going to be doubling down on the same sound. I don't know if you'd be happy with that. The H190 is a good amp, though. Chihu Audio. What is Chihu Audio Man? That sounds like that sounds like Cheap Audio Man in disguise. Is that you, Randy? RSL CG3Ms, the perfect Atmos speaker to add to the Arendelle 1961 bed layer. I feel like you already asked me this and I already said that. I remember someone asking me specifically about which speaker would pair well as a surround channel for Arendelle 1961s. You wanted something else originally, and I said, no, get this instead. Chihu Audio Man, did we have this conversation already? Tell me, I'm curious, or if you're someone different. Middle Earth says ammo 2A stuff and other useful things like gas will be going down. Yeah, probably. Cheap ammo is always a good thing. Middle Earth, I doubt stereo components will be hit with a tariff. Yeah, I look, I don't like to get political, but let me tell you just my take on this real quick. I think what happens, and this bipartisan across the board, okay? Some political fuck, either side of the aisle, who gives a shit? None of them care about us. They're gonna make promises, and like 90% of them don't happen. They're gonna make threats. 90% of them not gonna happen. Because what happens when these presidents get into power, at least in the U.S., they have advisors, right? So they say this crazy shit, right? Like, I don't know if you guys remember, like, if you're old enough to remember, George Bush #1, his whole campaign was ran on no more taxes. He was like, no more taxes. His slogan was, read my lips, no more taxes, right? Which sounds awesome. That sounds fantastic. I think everyone in this chat, I don't care what country you're in, if there's a candidate for president running on the slogan that he's going to abolish taxes, man, he's getting your vote, huh? What a great thing to do. But what happened? He got into office and his advisors were like, can't do that, bro. Can't do that. No way. Not going to happen. So it didn't happen, right? And I think it's going to be the same with tariffs, you know? I think Trump is going to, I think he's beating his chest a little bit about, all these tariffs. And I think his advisors are going to be like, hey, buddy, listen, we can tariff some stuff, right? No problem. Like cars, stuff that's historically been tariffed that does protect American manufacturers. But other stuff, if we tariff, it's going to harm the citizens, right? You start putting a big fat tariff on, say, consumer electronics, that's going to be a big hit to the average man. So hopefully the advisors will bring some balance to that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think is going to happen. You know what I mean? And again, if this sounded like criticism in any way, I promise you guys, this shit is bipartisan. I don't believe anybody in politics cares about me or you. I think it's a job to them, just like anything else. Their job is to further their career, whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see where I left off, guys. I'm sorry. Brian says you don't know Ethan Winter. What kind of YouTuber are you? Ha! I don't know what the fuck that is either. Yeah, who's Ethan Winter? Who is he? Anytime someone mentions someone I don't know, my gut reaction, the thought in my head is, who is this person and why should I care? I don't know who that is. Darren K seems to be growing Reddit crowd that doesn't believe DAX can sound different. When I check their profiles, they almost never post their own gear. Yeah, bro, that's a toxic trait, right? That's a toxic trait. And look, I've got a list of toxic traits because I plan to make a video about toxic traits. I'll read some of them to you. Applying general statements as iron laws. That's one. How about that? Someone said, like I'll give you an example. Andrew Robinson just reviewed the SB17. Great video. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. And in that video, he mentions how in his room, right, main wall placement, he has some dropouts around a certain bass frequency. And in his room, subwoofers on the front wall aren't the best. And it seems like what he's saying is in his room, the subwoofer behind him sounds best. Mark my words, I'm going to start to get comments from people with selective hearing that are going to start saying, oh, you shouldn't put a subwoofer on your front wall, it's going to have problems. That's selective hearing. Andrew Robinson didn't say that. At no part did he say subwoofer on the main wall is bad. He said specifically in his room. But I promise you guys, people are going to start telling me that because they take something someone says, they take it out of context. They try to turn it into some iron law or rule. I don't know where this attitude comes from. A lot of people like to jump to conclusions too. But yeah, look, man, those people on Reddit that believe like a DAC doesn't make a difference, I don't know. Good for them, whatever. I wish it didn't make a difference because then we could all just buy cheap DACs. You guys think I don't like to save money? I love saving money. I love it. You kidding me? Sorry, guys. A bunch of comments just came through and I lost my place. Here, I'm just going to Control F this. The last comment had the word Reddit in it. All right, I found it. C Brown says, I'm using a Hagel H190. That enough power for the ATCs? Yeah. Hagel H190's got a lot of power. Chihu Audio Man says, why do we need more than one pair of pants? What? Is this a dad joke? Is there a dad joke in here? I guess if you shit yourself, you need more than one pair of pants. I don't wear pants. I only wear shorts. Just browsing's talking to Middle Earth. Talking about tariffs. Yeah. Middle Earth says ASR sucked the fun out of hi-fi. I like that super expensive things I could never afford exist. Yeah, Middle Earth, look, ASR is for the people that enjoy ASR. If you don't enjoy it, don't go there. I'm with you. I think it sucks the fun out of hi-fi. To me, it doesn't look like those guys are having a good time. To me, it doesn't look like those guys are happy, joyous, and free. It looks like they have a chip on their shoulder. Anytime they interact with me in the comments, they're upset about something. It seems to me they are a group of mostly angry and jaded people. But if someone says, hey, I enjoy the ASR community, I don't want to stop them. Go for it. But it does seem like most of those guys are just running around in circles, obsessing over this or that. And I would rate most of those guys' experience, knowledge, and know-how as just enough to be dangerous. I see them spec whoring left and right and considering products as junk that they've never heard because they don't like a certain spec or something, and they're usually wrong with that spec or their understanding of what that spec actually means, Just people talking to each other. Serge says, I've been researching Hollow Audio Maydac, the level 2. Have you heard it? Have any opinion? No. No, I haven't heard it. I'm not really interested in hollow audio. Stuff looks cool, but that's one can down. Got one more on backup. Bill Bloomfield, spending on new gear definitely helps. My wife told me this morning how good she thinks the new Decaware amp sounds. She loves it. Winning. Hey, you hit the lottery, Bill. Wife supports the hobby. Love to see that. That's a good woman. Chihu Audio Man says, haha, no, I'm not Randy. It's a Randy tribute. But Chihuahua owners, so kind of a make. Oh, it's like Chihuahua. Got it. Darren says it was a no new taxes. Big difference. Agreed on staying away from politics. Are you talking about Bush #1, Bush Senior? Brother, I'm like 9. I was a kid. Darren, you might be older than me, but I could have sworn Bush Senior's whole thing was no more taxes. Maybe he meant no more additional taxes, and I was just a kid and I didn't know that. Maybe that's what it was. Chihu Audio Man, don't recall asking about the CG3Ms, but it's possible I did. Your memory is possibly better than mine. Probably not. Probably not. I don't know. Ted K says RSL speakers are 4 ohm, aren't they? I don't know, Ted. Does it matter? They're 4 or 8. I don't think that kind of stuff matters too much. Knowing the ohms of a speaker should be taken with a grain of salt. Ohms are not static. Some of you guys might not know that. I think some people think if a speaker says it's 4 ohms, it means it is 4 ohms. No. It means it's 4 ohms most of the time. It may be 8 ohm at some point. It may be 3.7 at some point. The same with 8 ohm, by the way. An 8 ohm speaker might be 9 ohm. It could be 6 ohm at some point of the frequency spectrum. Larry says, hopefully you're right about tariffs, but Trump did a boatload of tariffs last time, even on Canadian goods. So, yeah, it's hard to know, bro. It's hard to know. That's what I'm saying. You know, we could just like hope that his advisors or cabinet or, you know, whoever, you know, checks in with him gives good advice and he takes it and it doesn't negatively impact us financially. Taffy says, Leo says Ethan Winter is a reformed rock and roll guitarist and bass player who sold his successful software business in 1992 to pursue a career in music and audio. He has had various careers. Still nobody to me. Chihu Audio Man says Andrew mentioned you in one of the comments. Really? Cool. That's really cool. Hopefully he says something nice. Taffy says Leo is brave. I don't know what that means. Did Leo say something weird? Yeah, I'm missing context on that. People talking to each other. Sean B. Asking if I recommend OCD Mikey as a dealer. Why are you asking, Sean? Just curious. I want to know why you're asking before I answer. I will answer, but I want to know why you're asking. Marcus says ASR community sucks, IMO. They look at graphs and disregard user experience. Correct. Yes, correct. That is their brand. They do not believe you should report on what you hear. They believe you should report on what you measure. That's the whole purpose of the community. So I don't blame them for not being receptive to someone that's trying to report what they're hearing on their platform, because that's not the purpose of their platform. And I support them staying focused. I think it's ridiculous, but if they are having fun, good for them. It's just, as I mentioned, it doesn't seem they're having fun. It really doesn't seem like it. They seem so angry. Oh, NX. So I'm remembering his quote wrong. That's possible. That's possible. Me and all the kids in my elementary school used to just say it as a joke. So my memory could just be off again. I was pretty young. Darren says, I'm 43. I Googled it to make sure. LOL. He did fall on the no new taxes promise. Fail. Yeah. Ted K. Okay, so there's no new taxes. Got it. Got it. Got it. Again, guys, I'm 41. So when Bush Sr. was campaigning, I think, in like third or fourth grade. You know what I mean? This was just something kids around the playground ran around and said because it was just plastered on so many like advertisements. We'd be watching cartoons, and we'd see these like George Bush commercials come on TV, and he like had this like very particular accent. So when we went to school, we just like made fun of it. Okay, that's cool. It's more people talking to each other. Someone's talking about Brave web browser. Okay. Oh, Chihu's saying Andrew said I was talking favorably about the rhythmic subs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I talked to Andrew like a couple weeks ago, like for the first time actually. I was just like, fuck man, like this dude's like one of the biggest dudes in the space. Like let me like holler at him. I've had the thought before to like holler at him and like see if he was down to chat, but it was like I don't want to say like kind of intimidating, but like I didn't want him to feel like I was like trying to like get something out of him, you know? So I was like, oh, I'll wait until my channel's like a little bit bigger or whatever. I didn't want it to like turn into one of those things where I try to like ask him for like manufacturer contacts and shit like that. So I hollered at him like maybe like a month ago. I shot him an email and he was like, yeah, yeah, cool. And he sent me his number and we had a good talk and that the subwoofers, hi-fi and shit. We talked about so many things, but Rhythmic was definitely one of the things I mentioned. Yeah, I love Rhythmic subs for sure. All right, Chris. So we're getting more information on Ethan Winter. Chris 200 is saying that Ethan Winter is a professional musician and recording engineer. He's a cable denier and thinks as long as the cable is designed well, more expensive cables at any price will not sound any better. Hey, if that's his truth, good for him, bro. I've said it before, man. Some of this hobby is psychological. My stance on cables is like 50% psychological. And I've said this before. I think part of the benefit of expensive cables, I don't have to second guess it anymore. I don't have FOMO anymore. It puts the mental obsession to rest. For that alone, it's worth it for me. Someone else may not feel that way. No problem. Buy the cable that will satisfy you. And if that means simply inexpensive and well built, by all means do that. If that means it has to be a certain price point for you to feel that it's correct for your system, do that. The more you can, if you can spend money to get your brain to stop obsessing on the gear and get back to enjoying the music, to me, that's worth it. That's money well spent. That's a good product in my opinion. Also, I love the jewelry aspect of it, straight up. I'm not gonna lie. Darren K says, keep working on Andrew Robinson to get Rhythmic in his hands. Watch the SVS review, and the only thing I could think of is how does it compare to the F18, assuming you have plans to review the SVS. I'm not trying to convince Andrew to review Rhythmic personally, because like if he's got a big enough channel, if he wants to review something, he can reach out to people, you know. But Rhythmic is a small boutique company. I don't know if they need or want reviewers talking about their products. You know what I mean? I don't think they even need me talking about their products. They've always been a boutique company. It always seems like they haven't been interested in marketing. You know what I mean? It seems like they're happy with their sales. I mean, earlier in this live stream, we checked half of their stuff sold out already. You know, their stuff is constantly on back order because it sells so quickly. And some companies, they're happy with their size. Sometimes additional sales volume is additional complexity, which some people don't want. You know, it's more time away from your family, perhaps, or other projects. I don't know if Andrew will review a Rhythmic sub or not. But I know if he wants to, he certainly can reach out to them, Like even like think about me, right? Like my Rhythmic F18 video. Why didn't I review the F18 like 6 months ago, 9 months ago? Every time I asked, it was sold out. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, they don't need me to review the F18. It's so popular. Yeah, Winner is known for the no nonsense approach. Hey, good for him, dude. If that's how he enjoys the hobby, I support him. As long as he's not going to sit here and try to convince me to do it his way. That's something I don't like. I say this, if you feel comfortable using, cheap cable from Home Depot for your speaker wires, do that. I support you. Do that. I don't mind. I'm happy you're happy. But don't try to convince me to do that too. Let me enjoy the hobby my way. That's the problem I have with most of these no nonsense guys that believe in spending less money and believe that the more expensive stuff is like bad or no better. They act like they're on this biblical journey from God to help people save money. It's my money. Let me waste it. You think I'm wasting it? Okay, it's a waste. Let me waste it. I like it. Who cares? Who cares? Don't talk me out of it. Let people do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys know how many times I give somebody advice and they don't listen? They end up doing their own thing. And they tell me, they're like, oh, well, I think I'm going to do this other thing. I'm like, okay, do it. I don't care. Spend your money however it makes you happy. We all work hard for our money. We should be able to spend it how we want without some asshole judging us, yelling at us, telling us we're stupid because we could have bought this cheaper thing. Maybe I didn't want the cheaper thing. Maybe I didn't want the cheaper thing. Straight up. I drive an expensive car. I could have bought a cheaper car. I didn't want a cheaper car. I wanted the more expensive car. I like the more expensive car. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? So I would love to see these guys that are more into the inexpensive side of things be less judgmental about the more expensive stuff. There's a saying in sales, if you have to shit on something to push this other thing, something ain't right about that. Something ain't right about that, Guys, you want to hear something funny? My neck is so stiff, right? Like both sides, right? So stiff, so tight. And you know what it's from? It's from blowing my nose so many damn times these 2 weeks I've had this runny nose. Dragonstone's asking about the SB17. No, I'm not reviewing the SB17. I had surgery, guys. I've mentioned it a lot of times. I had a surgery. I can't lift heavy things for a long time. I will not review. I don't review products over 100 pounds anyways. The F18 was a special, what do you call that? Man, I can't remember the word. When you exception. The F18 was a special exception. For years, people have been asking me to cover it. I was personally curious about it, so I was willing to deal with a product over 100 pounds. But generally speaking, I do not review products over 100 pounds. Even over 80 pounds is a big maybe. Big maybe. Over 100 pounds, forget about it. You're never going to see a SB17 review out of me. Dot Dash is asking, how much better are Superfi woofers than most others? What is a Superfi woofer, bro? I don't know what you're talking about, Dot. Dragonstone, please convince Andrew Robinson to view rel subs. No, I'm not. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't convince people to do anything. I don't even convince you guys to buy shit. Straight up. You ask me, I tell you, but I'm not like, I've had guys in my Discord DM me and they're like, it happened recently. This guy asked me if he should buy Sue or Rhythmic. I told him, I think Rhythmic makes the best vented subwoofer in the world. I've never heard anyone say that about Sue Research. And he proceeded to ask me like 15, 20 more questions. And I told him, bro, I can't decide for you. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you. I told you my opinion. If that's not enough for you, buy the other thing. I don't care. It's your money. I'm not going to convince Andrew to review something. I'm not going to try to convince Sean to come back and start making reviews. I'm not going to convince Thomas he needs to make more content. I'm not going to tell Jay to buy a different camera or whatever. You know what I mean? or do more comparisons. Like, I don't care what other people do. It doesn't mean I don't care about the person. I care about all those people I just mentioned. I think they're all cool people, but I don't care what they do. Andrew Robinson could start reviewing dog food, and I will not call him and try to convince him otherwise. People want to do what they want to do. There's only 52 weeks in the year. We cannot review everything, guys. We just can't. And different brands are different to work with. You know, they just are. And I'm not saying like Rel's difficult to work with. I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean? Yeah, he'll review it if he wants to, man. He's got the biggest hi-fi channel in the world, man. The guy can review anything he wants. Brian says removal of doubt. Heard that somewhere recently. Well, like if buying you a product helps remove the doubt, is that what you're building off? What I said about the cables helps quiet my mind. Yeah. Whoa, my ears just popped and I can hear like really well now. Holy shit. Sorry guys, I know it's gross when I like clear my sinuses, but I'm sick. I told you at the beginning of the stream. Oh, that's messed up. My left ear opened up, but my right ear is still like closed up. I'm like, it's like so disorienting. Michael Baldwin says, in your opinion, would a pair of Rel subs or a single Rel 212 SX make a difference for a music only setup? Do you have any experience on the sound of the Access? I don't know what Access Forte ones are. I'm sorry. Pair of what Rel subs, brother? That's what you need to tell me, Mr. Baldwin. Like, what would a pair of T5Xs be better than a single 212 SX? Probably not. Probably not. So let me know what two Rel subs you're considering against the single 212 SX, and I'll try to chime in. Middle Earth out here retracting messages. Ancient Alien 815. I agree with you 100%, Nemo. I've said a lot in this stream. I don't know what you're agreeing with, but I appreciate you. Oh yeah, this is a good comment. Chihu Audio Man says, agreed. People should be able to do what they want. If I want to take a bedazzler to my assless leather chaps, so that's my prerogative. Yeah, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you do that, of course, you know, you're not bothering anyone when you do that. Right now, if you wanted to do that and then go to like a park where there's children, we're going to call the police, right? You can't do that because now it's affecting someone else. But if it doesn't affect, if you want to do that and go to a 21 plus club or bar, if they allow it on the dress code, wear those assless chaps, brother. Bedazzle them. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? If it does not impact someone, why not? But what these people do is they make it impact someone for some reason. Hold on, guys. It's time for drink number 2. It's not a Waterloo, though. This one, second favorite. The watermelon. It's called Pastique from LaCroix or whatever. And we got to open it the audiophile way. For those of you that have never seen me open a can the audiophile way, look. The tab here, you put your thumb over it. Look. You put your thumb over. You don't really need to press. Your thumb's over it to dampen the crack when it opens. Look. Nowhere near as loud. Nowhere near as loud. Love that. Hi-fi applies to opening cans of sparkling water as well, guys. Always hi-fi. All right, where did I leave off? Austin says, Dragon, reach out to Andrew and ask. Yeah. If you want Andrew to do something, you ask him. Don't put me to work. Shit. Dot Dash says, sorry, I meant Purify woofers. I don't know, bro. I'm not like a DIY guy, and I don't review like raw drivers. I couldn't tell you. They look funny to me. You know, I know they're expensive. They're probably good. Austin says, Nemo, you ever watched Home Theater Hobbyist? Is that a reviewer? I think that's a reviewer based on the way you capitalized your sentence. Let's look him up. No, I never watched him. I'm not a home theater guy. I'm not like this is my home theater. Supermon Minis, Hagel H190, kept KC62 behind the couch, stereo 2.1. That's my theater. Yeah. No, I'm not into content like this. He seems cool though. I might have seen like one of his subwoofer reviews back in the day or something. Oh no, you know what? I'm thinking of the Villa Man. The Villa Man. Because this is a black dude with a shaved head. The Villa Man is a black dude with a shaved head. I remember watching the Villa Man. I don't know if he still does makes content. I don't watch hi-fi content from other people really. I will sometimes, like I'll watch some of Thomas's stuff, some of Andrew's stuff. I love Jay. I almost never watch Jay's content. It's not nothing personal. I'll tell you why. Let me go to Jay's channel right now. I only watch content if I'm like interested or curious about what the thing is. And like Andrew Robinson, for example, has recently reviewed stuff that's like super weird. Like he had that sound bar that it was like unlike anything I'd ever seen. And I'm like, what's this? You know what I mean? Like got my attention. But so let's see, so Jay's most recent video is like his product of the year video. I don't care what his opinion is on. I don't care what anyone's opinion is, honestly, on their products of the year. I didn't watch anyone's product of the year video. I did watch a part of Andrew's because it was in his live stream when I was watching his live stream. His next video is the Arendelle Tower. I don't care about the Arendelle Tower. I don't care about towers. His next video is the Choco Ime. I already have my review sample of the Choco Ime. Why should I care? His opinion of that. Then his Pontus 15th. I did watch that. I watched Jay's Pontus 15th video. I was curious about that. Before that, he reviewed the Billy amp. I already reviewed the Billy amp. Why would I watch that? You get my point? You know what I mean? Like I can give you a reason like why I don't watch a lot of his content. Like I either have the product already or it's something I'm not interested in. It's almost like if I was a mechanic, the last thing I would want to do is come home and do an oil change. You know what I mean? Like I have my own channel, so I don't really watch a lot of other people's channel. When I'm watching YouTube, I'm mostly watching video game related content, like video game reviews for like JRPGs. I like firearm content, cars. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I'm watching. Darren K says, actual question for you. Well, what do you mean actual question? A lot of people are asking actual questions. I already have one L12 in a medium-sized basement. Considering another L12 or jumping to an E15, which way would you go? Money isn't an issue. F18 is too much for the room. What do you mean a F18 is too much for the room? Is this a basement theater? If it's a basement theater, I would say sell the L12 and get a pair of LV12Ms. Basement systems are for big subwoofers. Everyone I know at the basement theater has big subwoofers. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to jump to the E15, I would say sell the L12 too. I wouldn't run an L12 and an E15 together. You can, but you may not need to. You know what I mean? So you have some choices to make. The easiest choice is just to add a second L12. But if like cost is no object, sell the L12, get a pair of LV12Ms if it's a theater, or an E15 HP2 or a pair of E15s. Austin says he is super mellow and chill. Oh, yeah, but he's a home theater reviewer. I'm not into home theater. Dot dash. I don't know about Purify woofers, bro. Come on, Michael. What do you mean any pair of RL 12-inch subs versus a single 212SX? Like, obviously, like a 212SX is gonna like sound better than a pair of HT 1205s. Like Series S is above Series HT. Series HT is still like really good. Is a single 212SX gonna sound better than a pair of S812s or Carbon Specials? I'm gonna say that's gonna come down to the room more. Some rooms, for one reason or another, whether it be the person's setup experience or the room's acoustics, might sound better with one big sub, and other rooms are going to sound better with a pair of smaller subs. I think if you're serious about this, what you want to do is take some pictures of your room email Rel, tell them, hey, I'm considering buying a single 212SX. I'm not sure if my room is going to sound best with one big sub or perhaps two smaller ones, like maybe a pair of your S812s or some other pair. Send them those pictures and see what they say. That's what I would suggest, my bro, because Rel has way more experience with their own subwoofers against each other in different rooms than I do. You know what I mean? And I'd hate to suggest the 212SX and you're like, bro, it's like, I don't have even bass distribution. Like my room needs a pair. Like I got to fork out another $5,000 now for a second one, you know? Brian Romska says, Nemo, merch discussion completed. Bedazzled assless chaps available in the link below. Thanks for supporting the channel. that would be funny merch, huh? Like a N on one butt cheek and a P on the other butt cheek for Nemo propaganda. Maybe it will be a future merch drop, you know? Dragonstone's talking to Austin. Austin says, I find his and your reviews informative and super relaxing. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Middle Earth is talking about the purified drivers, $439 per, so not expensive to me for what that is. No, but Middle Earth, that's expensive for a 6.5-inch driver pair. You know, $220 a piece is an expensive 6.5-inch driver. You know, the drivers that most speakers are using that are like $2,000 or like a $2,000 speaker is usually using a driver that's anywhere from like $50 to maybe $200 a pair. $439 is a lot. $439 is a lot, bro. There's great drivers you can get for $100 a piece, $80 a piece, $60 a piece. That is expensive, relatively speaking. I'm not saying it's uber high end expensive. There's certainly 6-inch drivers that cost even more. But yeah, I don't know anything about them. Chi who wants 2 pairs of chaps. Ancient Aliens, I was referring to when you were talking about letting people make their own decisions and not letting anyone and not telling anyone what to do. Wish more people were that way. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. It's for me. That's how I have my peace. You know what I mean? Like seriously, that's how I have my peace. Like, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I tried to bust Sean's balls for months about making more content, and it did nothing. It did nothing. He doesn't want to make content. He's not going to make content. I got to leave him alone. You know what I mean? Choke Change says, how is it? Just curious. What's the origin story of your channel name? That's in my community section. I just posted that in my community section. That's my most recent community post. It's a paragraph about maybe that big on the screen. Give it a read. I literally talk about it. It's Nemo Propaganda Lore Story Volume 2. And it's literally about how I got my name. He mentioned that. So Sean B says, I'm considering doing business with him, but he mentioned you wanted to kick his ass at the show. So I figured he did you wrong. That's crazy that he mentioned that. It is true. It is true. We had a bit of an altercation. That is true. But I'm surprised he mentioned that because we did patch things up. And what I promised him is I would not speak poorly of him because we're good. You know what I mean? We left it on good terms. I did buy something from him and I didn't get the level of service I wanted, but this was during the unknown virus of unspecified origin that took the world by storm between 2019 and 2020. You know, we hashed it out. He offered to make it right. I got to give him that, you know, and we were cool. And, I could tell he was like, hey, like, it sounds like you incurred extra cost because I didn't take care of this thing for you. And I'm like, I did. And he's like, let me pay for it. I'm like, no. And he kept like pressing it. And then I realized he wanted to make sure that like his name was clear. And that's why he was like, no. Like, you have to let me reimburse you if you incurred extra cost. And I told him, I said, bro, I appreciate you saying that, but when I say we're good, I mean it. I will not speak poorly of you. It's genuinely like resolved. Like what it cost me is not an issue. Like you offering to reimburse that's like enough, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? So there's no beef or anything like that. There was at one point on my end, but like I said, it's been settled. I'm really surprised he mentioned that. But yeah, if he mentioned it, yeah, that's what happened. And for the record, I should have been more courteous with him. I was very angry, and I did pop off. I shouldn't have. He's quite a bit older than me, and I don't believe that's how you should talk to someone that's older than you. I think that's where I went wrong. Middle Earth is saying Jay's video was PS Audio F5, which Aaron reviewed. Yeah, I tried to email PS Audio about the F5. They didn't email me back, so fuck them. People talking about subwoofer prices with each other. Dot Dash, have you ever reviewed the Marantz Model M1? No, I haven't, bro. Dot is saying it has perfect synergy with the Bucar S400 Mark II. I can see that. Ancient Aliens is asking if I put any more time on the MC40s. No, I haven't. No. No. Ever since I had my surgery on October 31st, I was like, I need some me time, which means I set up my system the way I want for myself. And I'm not listening to any review equipment. This is me time, baby, which means I'm listening to Kinky Studio and the Bucard S400s because that's my system I like. I'm using the Harmony DAC. Sounds absolutely fantastic. And everything else I have in review, they can all wait. Straight up, they can wait. If they want their gear back, I'll send their gear back. I don't care. It's the holidays. Nemo propaganda deserves to chill. I had surgery, and I'm gonna fucking chill and do what I want. I'm gonna do what I want. Middle Earth says your story is also in YouTube Shorts parts 1 and 2. What do you mean your story? I don't understand. My story is in YouTube Shorts? Let me go to my own channel. I don't have any YouTube Shorts. I have one. It's a short of my car, but it's unlisted. No one can see it. So videos. I don't have no shorts. What are you talking about, bro? Go to my dashboard. Content. Shorts. Yeah, I only have one short. It's a video of my car when I did the resonator delete. I did that for the car community. That was before I even had my channel. And then once I had my YouTube channel, I'm like, I don't need people knowing what kind of car I drive. So because like this is the truth, like, and this is another bad habit of people, and this is on my list of toxic traits that some audiophiles have, not all, but some. Wanting to believe the reviewer is like struggling financially because you think that makes them more credible. I've never pretended to be struggling financially. I definitely did struggle financially throughout my life at various points. I had a very rough upbringing, but not these days. But like some people, they want to believe the reviewers like broke because they think it's more credible, and they believe if the person has like a couple of extra nickels to rub together, they're like a bad person for some reason, which is weird. It's a really weird habit people have. But for that reason, I decided to take my car off. I don't have like a Lamborghini or anything, but like either way. Choke change, perfect timing, and response regarding your channel name. Yeah. I almost thought that was like a joke because I just posted that yesterday. Yeah. Brian saying, Dinner time. Good stuff, everyone. Keep it up. Good luck with the recovery. See you next time. Hey, thank you for tuning in, Brian. I appreciate you. You were almost in the whole stream, bro. Thank you. Enjoy your meal. Get out of here. Get out of here. Sorry, guys. Sometimes this little pop-up like happens and I got to get rid of it. Ancient Alien says, got to have time for that. Yeah, man. Yeah. Middle Earth says the name of your channel story is in YouTube Shorts. I'm so confused, bro. I'm so confused. Ancient Alien says Nemo only wears shorts. That is true. Chris 200 says, I think Amir from ASR does sometimes listen to equipment, e.g. headphones as well. Who cares? Who cares? Middle Earth, not a short, but parts 1 and 2 of the story of the name of your channel are on YouTube as they both hit my... Yeah. Thank you, bro. Yeah, sorry. I was not understanding what you were saying. Yeah. So there's, in the community section, I started adding what I've titled Nemo Propaganda Lore Stories. And there's 2 of them. The first one talks about like one of my first interactions with Thomas in stereo. The second one is how I ended up with the name Nemo Propaganda. And these are just like little snippets of like background information for anyone who cares about the lore of Nemo Propaganda or wants to know a little bit more about me, the background and stuff like that. So anytime something comes to mind, if I'm near a computer, I'll type up a quick lore story for fun, and whoever enjoys reading that stuff can read it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like my way of interacting with you guys in a different way, you know? Yeah, my origin story, I put, it's in my community section. The community section will pop up everyone's community section. So the community section is where you see polls. Anytime you see a poll, that's the community section. Anytime you see a YouTuber post up a picture, that's the community section, right? That's a community post. My lore story is a community post. So anytime you subscribe to someone, their community posts may show up in your subscription feed between videos. So you might see like video, and then a community post from someone. Most of the time it's a poll these days. People love posting polls. Sometimes you'll see a still picture. Sometimes it's a message. This time I chose to make it one of the lore stories. Yeah. It's not a video. It's a community post. How long have we been doing this? An hour and 17 minutes, 49 people in the stream. This is usually when things start to slow down. Guys, if you got any burning desires, anything you want to know, any questions you have, ask them now. The 2-hour mark is usually where it slows down. Sometimes the stream goes another 15 minutes or so. This is usually the natural stop though. I stop the stream usually when the questions stop coming. That tells me most people have, you know, kind of enjoyed their time here, and I don't want to wear out my welcome, you know. Sergely Gonkar says, yo, on your recommendation, I bought the Rel 1003 Mark II and love it for movies, but not so much for music. You may have seen in the Discord. It's vastly better than the RSL 255.1, but RSL has noise floor. The RSL 255.1 is an amp, but yeah, you have more subwoofer than amp at this point. The 1003 Mark II should sound great for movies. What you're probably running into is, so the settings because if you're using the RSL IA 255.1, you don't have LFE. You're doing 2.1 stereo for home theater, which is what I'm doing here. The settings you need for TV, movies, and stuff like that to have really good bass are not the same settings you need for music. It's a bummer, but that's most likely what you're running into. When you get that 1003 Mark II dialed in with the RSL amp and your speakers to sound fantastic with music, you will find it does not have enough bass for movies. It's frustrating. It is what it is. The guys with home theaters, the way they get around that is they have totally different setups. They're using LFE for bass, right? So they're getting their systems dialed in for regular stereo bass. Their AVR's handling that or whatever. And then their AVR handles the decoding of the LFE track, which adds the extra bass and room rumble, right? You're having to dial that in manually with a stereo setup for theater. So yeah, music's not going to sound the best. That is true. It's not the subwoofer is what I'm saying. It's the way it's set up. So Chris says, I think Ethan just wants to stop people falling for some of the lies of bad actors in the hi-fi industry and stop people from falling for marketing, etc. Yeah, man, that's still like he's still being a bit of a bleeding deacon though, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Everyone in this chat, everyone, if you're the type of dumbass I am, I learned from making mistakes. And in my life, I've had countless people try to talk me out of a bad decision, and I give them two of these. I can't listen to other people. I got to make mistakes. Look, not today. Today, I'm 41 years old. I've learned a lot. I'm more likely to hear people out. But for a long time, I was stubborn, man. I had to learn from my own mistakes. You got to let people have their own journey. Yeah, that some mistakes cost money. That's how we learn. We buy something, it doesn't work the way we expected. Now we are motivated to invest more time into learning about the actual hobby instead of just buying some shit because the man on the computer screen said it was good. Let the buyer beware, baby. That we live in a capitalistic society and an uncensored one for the most part. A wealth of knowledge is available. If you bought a product because you just watched a man on a screen say it was good, you deserve whatever may or may not come with that. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. If you watch the body of the person's work and you've gotten to know this reviewer fairly well, and you know, like the way this guy talks, I'm starting to understand his taste. I think we have similar taste. I feel confident making a buying decision based off of what this man is saying. That's different. That is a form of research, in my opinion. But if you just watch a random video and you buy some shit, you wouldn't buy a car that way. You know what I mean? Like, some people are lazy. Trust me, I interact with a lot of people. A lot of people expect me to make the decision for them, and I won't do it. You got to let people make their own mistakes. That's what I think. Sergey says the journey continues. Ancient Aliens. I don't want to answer that question, bro, just because, like, I don't want to be like promoting it. You know what I mean? I was a former 2-pack a day smoker. I'm not anymore, but I think it's best people don't vape or smoke if possible and be healthy. But it's what I do, but I don't want to promote it. Billy says, just got here. Burning desire. That's a dangerous question. Now I want to know, Billy, what is your burning desire? Tell us. Share it. What is your darkest, deepest burning desire? And don't tell us about your hemorrhoids. We don't want to hear about that. That's not what I meant. Dragonstone, what stereo system would you take with you on an island for a month? The catch is that it has to fit in a regular travel case. Like a carry-on suitcase? So I can't take a subwoofer. That sucks. So if it's on an island, let's assume it's like the full-size suitcase. If it's a full-size suitcase, Choco Ime, that's a small amp and it's a very good one. No subwoofer, so the speakers got to have good bass of their own, right? And they got to be small. Especially if you're thinking carry-on. If they got to fit on a carry-on, SVS Ultra Evolution Nano, those have good bass and they sound good too. I like those with the Choco Ime. That's a great pairing. Full-size suitcase, Choco Ime, full-size suitcase, I'd do a Kinky Studio EXM1 Plus and my Bucard S400 Mark IIs. That's what I would do. Sergey says, regarding rel sub for music versus theater, thank you for explaining. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. Troy says, when you're back to full strength, will you be reviewing any of the new SVS 17 subs? No. I don't review products over 100 pounds no matter what. Sometimes I'll make a special exception because I want to do it. Like, I'm personally curious about it. I want to do it for myself, right? That is very rare. That is very rare. In the history of the channel, I think I've only reviewed one product over 100 pounds, maybe two over 100 pounds. Even over 80 pounds. The rule actually for me is over 80 pounds, I just say no. Between 80 and 100, I have some flexibility. Over 100, no. You're gonna see maybe one every few years. Very rare. Chris 200, do you think amplifier or source such as CD player or streamer have a more significant effect on the sound? Amplifier. Well, your source too, your amplifier and your source together. But if I can only put my money into one thing, like if I was forced to have one expensive item in my system and the rest be very inexpensive, I would always choose the expensive amplifier with inexpensive everything else. Middle Earth says, I treat components like firearms. I buy them, try them, and sell them or keep them. I don't get attached to the things, and if they are good, I probably learn something. That's cool. You know what I mean? That's super cool. I'm more of a buy and keep. I don't sell too much stuff. You know? But I also live in California. It's like a pain in the butt to sell those. I do all this paperwork, and there's got to pay like a transfer fee. It's just not worth it, you know. All right, guys, 128 minutes, 129 minutes in the stream. I'm gonna call it a wrap. Questions aren't coming in anymore, so this tells me, you know, we're at the tail end. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. This was the second stream for December. I don't know if there'll be a third one. I've never done 3 streams in a month. I will be off for 2 weeks during the holidays. I might get bored. Reason I've been streaming so often is, you know, again, because of the surgery, I can't work out. There's a lot of things I can't do. I could, but I shouldn't, you know, and I don't want to just burn a Sunday playing video games nonstop. Yeah. So look, thank you for tuning in, guys. If you spend time with the family for Christmas, be cool. Be cool. Don't let, politics cause strife between you and your loved ones. Okay. You know, this is the little Nemo propaganda advice, okay? Be on your best behavior. If you like to drink, try to keep it reasonable. Don't drink and drive. Don't make a fool of yourself, you know what I'm saying? If you got special people in your life, try to get them a nice gift if you can. I've learned the thought is always more important than how much you spend. And if you can, don't forget to get yourself something. Yeah. Treat yourself. Buy yourself something. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I told you, I bought myself this little flashlight. This was a fun purchase for me. You know what I mean? Buy yourself something, guys, okay? So anyways, until next time, thank you for tuning in, guys. Be well.